Welcome back to another week inside the world of the bold and the beautiful, a place where emotions are never simple, silence speaks louder than words, and every smile hides a secret you can almost feel but never quite see. This week wasn't just another chapter, it was a shift. A quiet storm slowly rising behind the glamour, behind the confidence, behind the faces that pretend everything is fine when, deep down, nothing is. There was tension in the air, a sense that something was building, something that couldn't be avoided, no matter how much anyone tried to hide it. You could feel it in the pacing, the way words lingered longer than they should, the way someone turned away just before the truth was spoken. It's that delicate space between what's said and what's meant, between control and chaos. And in that space, everything changed. This week reminded us that the most powerful stories don't need to shout. They breathe, they whisper, they creep up on you until you realize you've been holding your breath, waiting for a moment that you didn't even know was coming. It wasn't just about confrontation, it was about realization. About people coming face to face with who they are, and who they've become in the shadows of their choices. There were moments of stillness that said more than 1,000 words. Glances that revealed everything, pauses that carried pain, and decisions that left an echo long after the scene had ended. It was about longing, control, forgiveness, and the way love can transform, or destroy, depending on how you hold it. Because in this world, love isn't soft. It's sharp, it cuts and it heals. It exposes what's been buried, and forces people to see themselves clearly, even when they wish they couldn't. It was a week of reflection, a week of crossing lines that can't be uncrossed, and a reminder that truth never stays hidden forever. And yet, amid all the turmoil, there was beauty. A fragile kind of beauty, the kind that exists only when everything else is falling apart. Moments where someone finally let down their guard. Moments where silence became connection. Moments where even pain felt purposeful. That's what makes this show so captivating. It isn't just about drama, it's about humanity. It's about how people love too deeply, hurt too easily, and still hope against all odds. It's about how one choice, one word, or one look can alter everything, because sometimes, all it takes is a single moment to change the course of an entire story. This week, The Bold and the Beautiful didn't just entertain. It reminded us why we keep watching, why we keep feeling, why we keep believing that even in the darkest hour, something beautiful can still emerge from the wreckage. So as we step into the recap of everything that unfolded from Monday, October 6th through Friday, October 10th, 2025, take a breath. Let go of what you expect, and feel what this week left behind. Every episode, every pause, every flicker of emotion led us here, to a place where the truth is no longer hiding, and the choices of the past are echoing louder than ever. But before we dive in, make sure to like, comment, and share this video with other fans who love the journey just as much as you do. Tell me what you felt this week, what moments hit hardest, what questions are still spinning in your mind. And if you haven't already, subscribe and turn on notifications so you're always the first to know when a new recap drops, because every week brings a new revelation, a new consequence, and a new reason to fall in love with this story all over again. Now, let's begin. Let's step back into the emotion, the intensity, and the quiet beauty that defined this week. This is The Bold and the Beautiful. It was a day of shock, emotion, and revelation in Los Angeles as the truth surrounding Luna Nozawa's shocking return began to unfold. What was once thought to be impossible became reality, and every character was left questioning who they can trust and what comes next. At the hospital, Finn Finnegan was left speechless as Luna, his daughter he believed was dead, appeared before him. The moment was filled with disbelief and raw emotion. Finn's mind raced back to the grief, the unanswered questions, and the haunting mystery of her disappearance. Luna, trembling but determined, poured out her truth. She revealed that she'd been in hiding, trying to protect herself from threats and fear, and now she's back, alive, carrying a child she claims belongs to Will Spencer. Finn, struggling to process the bombshell, felt torn between his duty as a father and his loyalty to Steffi. The weight of Luna's confession hit him like a tidal wave. How would Steffi react? Could his family survive yet another betrayal and emotional storm? Despite his confusion, Finn's compassion showed through, but his guard stayed up. He made it clear that his priority remains Steffi's safety and the stability of his household. Meanwhile, over at Bill Spencer's mansion, the tension could be cut with a knife. Luna's decision to sneak out in disguise, a baseball cap and sunglasses shielding her from the world, showed that she's not ready to face the spotlight or the judgment that's sure to come. Bill, still protective but wary of the chaos surrounding her, struggled to keep control of the situation as Luna slipped away to confront Finn face to face. Elsewhere, love and loyalty were being tested. Will Spencer and Elektra found themselves drawn together once again. Despite the uncertainty hanging over them, they shared an intense and passionate reunion. Their kiss wasn't just a romantic moment, it was an escape from the storm, a fleeting reminder of what they mean to each other. But deep down, both knew the reality. Luna's pregnancy could change everything. If Will truly is the father, their relationship may not survive the fallout. Across town, Ridge and Brooke sat in quiet reflection at the Forrester estate, trying to make sense of it all. Their conversation revealed both fear and frustration. Ridge worried deeply for Steffi, knowing she's endured more than most and doesn't need another upheaval. Brooke, ever the voice of calm reason, reminded him that secrets always find a way to surface, and when they do, they often destroy everything in their path. The two agreed that protecting Steffi must come first, even if it means stepping into moral gray areas. Then came one of the day's most powerful confrontations, Poppy Nozawa and Finn. Their exchange was loaded with years of unspoken emotion, regret, and love for Luna. Poppy defended her daughter with fierce maternal instinct, insisting that Luna's mistakes were born from pain, not malice. Finn, however, couldn't look past the danger her reappearance could bring to his family. He was cold but not cruel, firm but not heartless, making it clear that Steffi's peace of mind will always come first. As the day drew to a close, Luna's determination only grew stronger. She walked away from Bill's mansion, hidden beneath the brim of her hat, ready to face whatever, and whoever, stood in her way. Her secret is out, her past is catching up to her, and the truth about her pregnancy could alter the lives of the Spencers, Forresters, and Finnegans forever. With emotions boiling and loyalties shifting, one thing's for sure, the aftermath of Luna's return is just beginning. As the sun sets on Los Angeles, alliances will form, hearts will break, and long-buried secrets will finally come to light. At Forrester Creations, the day began with a surprising turn when Dickie Sharp paid an unexpected visit to Hope Logan. Their reunion was warm but charged with tension, as Dickie, eager to turn over a new leaf, made a daring proposal that could alter the course of Hope's career. He expressed a deep desire to reinvent himself and find a new sense of purpose, revealing that he wanted to join Hope for the future as a designer. His passion and sincerity took Hope by surprise. She admired her father's creativity and enthusiasm but couldn't ignore the weight of his past. Dickie insisted that he wasn't chasing fame or fortune, he wanted a real chance to build something meaningful and to make Hope proud. Hope listened carefully, torn between her heart and her head. She's been through enough chaos to know that mixing business and personal life can be risky. Still, seeing Dickie's genuine excitement reminded her of the dreamer he used to be, a man once lost, now striving for redemption. Their moment carried a spark of optimism and vulnerability, hinting that this could be the beginning of a new chapter, or the start of another emotional storm waiting to hit Forrester Creations. Meanwhile, Taylor Hayes and Ridge Forrester found themselves together again, not in romance, but in shared worry. They met in the quiet of Ridge's office, both visibly weighed down by the latest turmoil surrounding Luna Nozawa. Taylor's motherly instincts had kicked into overdrive, her heart ached not just for Steffi, but for Luna as well. Ridge, on the other hand, was caught between logic and emotion. He wanted to protect his family at all costs but couldn't deny the compassion he felt for Luna's predicament. Their discussion quickly turned emotional. Taylor questioned how much more their family could endure, while Ridge admitted that keeping Luna's truth from Steffi was eating away at him. Taylor, ever the voice of empathy, urged him to tread carefully. Secrets always find their way to the surface, and the fallout could be devastating if Steffi discovered the truth on her own. The scene between Taylor and Ridge was raw, layered with decades of shared history, love, regret, and a deep mutual understanding. Even as they disagreed on the best way forward, one thing was clear: both were united by their fierce love for their daughter and the desire to shield her from more heartbreak. Elsewhere, Will Spencer bared his soul to Elektra, delivering one of the most heartfelt speeches of the day. With the chaos surrounding Luna's pregnancy claims casting a dark cloud over their relationship, Will chose to fight back with honesty and love. He confessed that, no matter what the tests or rumors revealed, his heart belonged to Elektra. His voice trembled with emotion as he professed his undying love, promising her that Luna's past, or even the possibility of his connection to her baby, wouldn't change the way he felt. Elektra listened, torn between wanting to believe him and fearing the inevitable truth that could shatter everything. Her eyes filled with tears as she questioned whether love was enough to survive lies, doubt, and betrayal. Will's desperation was palpable, He was a man clinging to hope, trying to convince not only Elektra but himself that love could still conquer the chaos around them. As the day closed, three emotional threads wove together: Dickie's bold ambition, Taylor and Ridge's parental turmoil, and Will's passionate declaration, forming a tapestry of love, loyalty, and looming heartbreak. Every word spoken today carried weight. Every choice made will have ripple effects that reach far beyond Forrester's walls. In a world where love, ambition, and secrets collide, today's episode reminded fans why The Bold and the Beautiful remains a timeless saga. A story where even the strongest hearts can break, and every new beginning carries the shadow of the past. Wednesday's episode of The Bold and the Beautiful delivered an emotional storm that left no family untouched. The tension, the secrets, and the betrayals all came to the surface as shocking revelations rippled through the Forrester, Logan, and Spencer worlds. Luna Nozawa stunned everyone when she revealed she was alive and pregnant. The shocking twist came with an even bigger bombshell. Luna claimed the father of her unborn child as Will Spencer. The revelation set off a chain reaction of anger, disbelief, and heartbreak. For the Forresters, the news reopened wounds they thought had healed, while the Spencers faced the fallout of yet another scandal threatening their family name. Finn Finnegan was blindsided by Luna's reappearance. Her confession threw him into emotional turmoil, forcing him to face the complicated past they share. Torn between his loyalty to Steffi and his concern for the situation, Finn found himself struggling to keep the truth in perspective. His silence and confusion, however, only fueled more tension, especially once Steffi learned what he had been hiding. Ridge Forrester's anger reached a breaking point when he confronted Lee Finnegan about keeping Luna's survival a secret. Ridge, who has always valued loyalty and truth above all else, couldn't believe Lee's betrayal. His frustration boiled over as he demanded to know why she protected Luna, whose lies continue to endanger their family. Lee's silence and evasions only deepened the rift between them, setting the stage for a fierce family confrontation. Meanwhile, Steffi Forrester's world began to crumble. When she discovered a photograph of Finn and Luna together, her worst fears were confirmed. The image became proof of a connection she couldn't ignore, sparking fury and heartbreak in equal measure. Steffi confronted Finn, demanding honesty and answers, but the damage may already be done. The trust between them now hangs by a thread, and the emotional fallout could be devastating. Across town, Will Spencer was spiraling. The thought that he might be the father of Luna's baby was enough to send him into a panic. His once carefree life now feels like it's closing in on him, and his complicated feelings for Elektra only make things worse. Will's struggle to face reality adds another layer to the growing chaos, as he wrestles with guilt, fear, and the consequences of his actions. And while these storms raged, Dickie Sharp was hiding his own secret, one that could destroy everything he's built with Hope Logan. His secret connection with Remy Price threatens to expose the cracks in his relationship with Hope, and if the truth comes out, the fallout will be catastrophic. With emotions spiraling and alliances shifting, the looming paternity test is the next ticking time bomb. The results will change everything, forcing families to take sides and exposing the full scope of Luna's deception. Steffi, determined to protect her home and her marriage, is preparing for a full-on war against Luna. Ridge and Taylor, caught in the middle, are desperately trying to keep their family intact as the drama unfolds. This episode captured everything that defines The Bold and the Beautiful: passion, betrayal, and the fine line between love and vengeance. As Luna's secret threatens to tear apart every bond and expose every lie, one thing is certain: nothing in Los Angeles will ever be the same again. Thursday's episode unfolded like a carefully lit fuse, quiet at first, but burning hotter with every passing second until the sparks began to fly. What began as subtle tension transformed into a collision of warnings, confrontations, and emotional turmoil that left everyone on edge. The hour opened with Ivy stepping into the room like a storm dressed in silk. Calm, controlled, deadly, her conversation with Elektra wasn't just a casual exchange, it was a chess match. Ivy knew exactly what she was doing. She studied Elektra with that sharp, calculating gaze of hers and made it clear: this isn't a game anymore. Elektra may think she's moving pieces on the board, but Ivy reminded her, there are bigger players at the table. Her words were deliberate, each one carrying the weight of history, family, and the messes she's seen implode before. You can only push so far before the walls collapse, Ivy warned, her voice quiet but laced with fire. She told Elektra to tread carefully, because if she doesn't, the fallout won't just land at her feet, it'll consume everyone she touches. And as Elektra stood there, torn between pride and doubt, Ivy left her with a chilling silence, the kind that lingers long after the door closes. Meanwhile, across town, the world of power, legacy, and loyalty cracked wide open as Ridge and Bill faced off. Two men with decades of unfinished business, standing inches apart, their words cutting through the air like blades. Ridge, protective and relentless, bore the weight of the Forrester family on his shoulders. His eyes burned with fury, not just at Bill, but at everything that's been spiraling around them. Bill, however, is no stranger to war. He stood tall, hands clenched, every line in his face carved with resolve. Their confrontation wasn't just about the present, it was about everything they've ever stood for. Old rivalries, wounds that never healed, boundaries that were crossed and never forgotten. Every sentence was heavy, each accusation like gasoline thrown on a growing fire. And though neither man was willing to step back, it was clear they both knew, whatever happens next will ripple far beyond this room. But while the loudest battles were fought in words, the quietest one was waged inside Finn's heart. Away from the sharp edges of Ivy's warning and the heated storm between Ridge and Bill, Finn sat with a fear he couldn't quite say out loud. He's always been Steffi's anchor, her calm in the storm, but now, the world around them is beginning to shake. And deep down, he knows, protecting her may mean making impossible choices. Finn's thoughts were haunted by the possibility of robbing Steffi of something she's fought so hard to have, peace. Peace isn't just a word for her, it's a fragile gift she's earned through heartbreak, loss, and strength. And Finn fears that everything that's happening, every warning, every confrontation, is just the beginning of a storm that could tear through their world. His love for her is fierce, but love alone might not be enough to shield her from what's coming. What made this episode so gripping wasn't just the plot itself, it was the way every storyline wove together like threads on the same burning fuse. Ivy's warning set the tone. Ridge and Bill's face-off raised the stakes. Finn's silent turmoil gave it heart. Every glance, every pause, every unspoken thought created a rhythm that made it clear, something bigger is building. In the glamorous, ruthless world of the Forresters and Spencers, nothing happens without consequence. Warnings become weapons, confrontations spark wars, and love, no matter how strong, is always tested in the flames. Thursday, October 9, 2025, wasn't just another day in Los Angeles. It was a turning point, a line drawn in the sand. And as the credits rolled, one thing became clear: this story is just getting started, and the storm that's coming will change everything. And that officially wraps up another unforgettable day on The Bold and the Beautiful. A day where emotions weren't just spoken, they were felt in every glance, every word, and every decision that will echo far beyond this episode. Finn and Taylor's quiet debate is more than just a conversation, it's the calm before a storm that could rip through everything Steffi knows. Their struggle isn't simply about telling the truth, it's about timing, impact, and whether revealing Luna's situation will destroy the fragile sense of security Steffi has worked so hard to rebuild. They're weighing heartbreak against honesty, and in a world like this, there are no easy answers. Meanwhile, Ridge stands as unshakable as ever. His mind is made up. Luna doesn't deserve leniency, and in his eyes, justice is the only path forward. His stance draws a clear line between loyalty and accountability, setting the stage for a clash that could split the Forrester family straight down the middle. Ridge believes he's protecting his family, but in doing so, he may ignite a conflict none of them can control. And then, at the heart of it all, stands Will. His desperation isn't just about a paternity test. It's about his identity, his future, and the fear that everything he's known might be ripped away in an instant. Bridget's answer could either give him hope or shatter him completely. That kind of uncertainty doesn't just linger, it consumes. These storylines aren't just moving forward, they're colliding. Each character is standing at the edge of a decision that will shape everything that comes next. Secrets are tightening their grip, emotions are reaching their breaking point, and no one will walk away from this unchanged. If this episode had you on the edge of your seat, make sure to like this video to keep the conversation going. Share your thoughts in the comments, and pass it along to every bold and beautiful fan who lives for these explosive moments. And if you haven't yet, subscribe to stay locked in as this storm builds. Because this isn't just another twist, it's the kind of turning point that reshapes lives, fractures families, and sends shockwaves through Los Angeles. The truth is closing in, the fallout is inevitable, and the next chapter is about to get even more intense. Stay with us, because this story is only getting started.